Welcome to the 2022 State of the County. My name is Allie Soper and I'm Kern County's Chief Communications Officer. It's an honor to be with you tonight as Kern County's Chairman of the Board, 2nd District Supervisor Zack Scrivner, highlights the outstanding achievements of our county and shares his vision for the coming year. We're incredibly grateful to our partners at KGET Channel 17 for this opportunity to live our values tonight by bringing people closer to government. Now, before we introduce you to our chairman, we'd like to thank our sponsors for supporting tonight's event. First and foremost, thank you to our presenting sponsor, Rio Tinto, along with our platinum sponsor, Dignity Health, Mercy and Memorial Hospitals. Thank you to our diamond sponsor, 8 Minute Solar Energy, and finally, thank you to our silver sponsors, Anthem Blue Cross, Bank of America, California Resources Corporation, California State University Bakersfield, Metropolitan Recycling and the Metro Bakersfield Refuse Haulers, Seneca Resources, Waste Management, and Wonderful Orchards. Here's a look at what Rio Tinto, Dignity Health, and 8 Minute Solar Energy are doing right here in our community.
Tucked away in the rich Mojave Desert sits the largest open-pit mine in the state, Rio Tinto California Operations. Ever committed to operational excellence, we've traveled far in our 150 years in business, from the early days in Death Valley to the discovery of boron in Kern County. Rio Tinto California Operations supplies 1/3 of the global demand for refined borates, used in hundreds of everyday products, from a cell phone screen to a laundry booster, wind turbine blades to flat-screen TVs. We're proud to mine and refine the minerals needed for modern living. At the heart of the business is our core values of care, courage, and curiosity. These principles reflect what's truly important to the operation. We act with care by prioritizing the safety of our employees, contractors, and guests. We act with courage by supporting everyone to speak up when they see something that isn't right. We act with curiosity by asking questions, seeking answers, and including diverse ideas. Rio Tinto California Operations. We're proud to be a part of the Kern County story and looking forward to the next chapter in our own.
Welcome to Dignity Health Bakersfield. Here in Kern County, we know that every community is unique, and the people of Dignity Health represent the diverse communities we serve. Thousands of patients rely on us for every health need, including life's first hello. We're not just about the care we provide in our hospitals. We're out in the community ensuring the wellness of everyone who lives here, providing food and social services. We are committed to dedicated care for children at the county's only pediatric ICU and children's emergency room. We need our communities, and our communities need us. It is a privilege to live and to serve every person who calls Kern County home. Together, we can be better, be stronger, and help our communities heal.
What I like about the solar industry is it's creating a lot of job opportunities here in Kern County, especially for our union.
Great pay, great benefits, great retirement. I was a single mom. It offered an opportunity for me to support my family.
I served in the Marine Corps for 4 years, and I feel like I'm continuing to serve my country now by helping it reach its energy goals.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Bakersfield, California. Started moving up through the ranks on drilling rigs and decided I needed something more stable. I'm here every day. I sleep in my own bed. I raise my kids. It's the best decision I've ever made was switching over.
The solar industry has been great for the local economy, for the members of our local, their families.
It makes me feel proud to go to work to know that we're fighting climate change.
If you get more solar energy, our air is going to be a lot cleaner for our future kids and grandkids and everybody.
50 years from today, somebody's going to say, wow, those were the pioneers. We are making a difference in the world with clean energy.
In Kern County, we're proud to be industry leaders, operating as a driving force in the world's 5th largest economy. Richard Chapman, President and CEO of the Kern Economic Development Corporation, joins us now to share a summary of Kern County's 2022 market overview.
Thanks, Allie, and thank you to Kern County for the opportunity to partner on the 24th annual event. Kern EDC's mission is to cultivate and promote Kern County's boundless opportunities for business. We focus on attraction, on retention, as well as growth. Kern County is the largest economy in the San Joaquin Valley. 2020 numbers were recently released, and Kern County came in at almost $50 billion. That's about 18% larger than Fresno County. Kern County was ranked the most resilient economy in the country. The Bakersfield MSA ranked #1 in terms of essential jobs. Over 2/3 of our region's jobs were deemed essential. We recently released a fact sheet highlighting Kern County's incredible economic diversity. Our top industries include value-added ag, aerospace defense, healthcare services, logistics and advanced manufacturing, and energy. As you can see, our accolades rival states, if not countries. We're proud of our economic diversity and the opportunity for upward mobility. I'd like to highlight a few of our major industries. The oil and gas industry makes up about $10 billion a year in our $50 billion economy. We are the 7th largest oil producing county in the country, and the average wage in the industry is about $80,000 a year. I'd also like to highlight our value-added ag industry. The industry makes up about $7.5 billion of our $50 billion economy. Over 80% of the nation's carrots are grown in Kern County. 17% of the world's almonds and 14% of the world's pistachios are grown in our own backyard. Aerospace and defense is a critical industry for our region's economy. We have 3 significant economic engines in East Kern: Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, and Mojave Air and Spaceport. Here are a few examples of innovation rising in East Kern. Within the last 12 months, we've had the 2nd flight of the Stratolaunch Rock, the largest airplane in the world, the unveiling of Virgin Galactic's VSS Imagine, the XB-1, boom supersonic plane capable of going over 1,400 miles per hour, as well as Virgin Orbit's Cosmic Girl and Launcher 1. And finally, NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center just celebrated 75 years of advancing technology and science through flight. In East Kern, mining is also a significant industry. Rio Tinto and Golden Queen Mining are significant employers in the region. In fact, this year, Rio Tinto began processing lithium for the first time. Kern EDC has about 25 active projects in our pipeline. One project that everybody's excited about is the Hard Rock Casino Tajon. Over a $600 million investment, several thousand jobs, and significant new money coming into our region's economy. Indeed, we've drawn the winning hand. Kern County is the top 5 region in the U.S. for startup activities. However, it is critical to provide the entrepreneurs with a toolkit to succeed. That's why Kern EDC and the Seed Corridor Foundation have founded the Kern Initiative for Talent and Entrepreneurship. The 4 components of KITE are guidance, funding, spaces, and talent, all critical to help bolster our region's entrepreneurial ecosystem. Kern EDC is a partner with B3K Prosperity, a regional action plan for economic prosperity. Kern EDC will work to promote opportunity industries for the region's future. Workforce development is the top site selection factor for companies considering relocating to Kern County or expanding within our region. We're very excited to announce on April 1st, the Kern County Symposium and Career Expo will be held at the Career Technical Education Center in Bakersfield. Speaking of talent retention, our foundation will launch the Career Catalyst Initiative later this year. This program will pair interns with employers on paid internship opportunities. This month, we'll be releasing the 2022 Kern County Market Overview. This award-winning publication tells the story of Kern County's boundless opportunities for business. I've just scratched the surface of our robust economy. Here's a little bit more about our economic strengths and industries that continue to boom.
One industry we're especially proud of in Kern County, which primarily takes place in Chairman Scrivner's district, is mining. Here's a look at the innovation and leadership happening in boron with Rio Tinto.
As General Manager of Rio Tinto California Operations, we're proud to sponsor the 2022 State of the County. We're also proud to be celebrating 150 years in business. Our roots date to 1872 in Death Valley, but we've been mining in eastern Kern County for nearly 100 years. And while we no longer use a 20-mule team to transport ore, we've held on to the strength of the team and safety of the operation. Today, over 800 employees at 3 California sites safely mine, refine, and ship products to more than 1,700 customers on 6 continents. Most of my team is based in Boron, at the state's largest open pit mine, but crews working at our shipping operation in Long Beach and Trona facility in Lone Pine complete the California workforce. Together, we supply 30% of the world's needs for refined borates found in everyday products like cell phone screens, computer monitors, building insulation, plant fertilizer, and more. But more than what we produce is how we produce it. The how is built around our core values of care, courage, and curiosity. Values that are simple, human, and inclusive of what's important to us. We act with care by prioritizing the safety of those around us. We act with courage by showing integrity and speaking up when something isn't right. We act with curiosity by inviting diverse ideas and collaborating to get the best results. 2021 had its share of challenges as we battled supply chain congestion in the Port of LA, saw employee turnover and hiring difficulties, and continued to fight COVID-19. But we also saw important improvements in lithium production. We've strengthened our core presence in communities, and we've increased our commitment to decrease our carbon footprint. To that end, we're expanding EV charging capabilities, looking at solar and battery storage, and testing renewable diesel fuel in haul trucks. We're excited about the coming year and the potential for great personal and professional growth. We hope that one day you'll come to site and see the operation for yourself, either as a visitor or perhaps a future employee. Until then, stay safe.
Now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to our Kern County Chairman of the Board, 2nd District Supervisor Zack Scrivner. He has spent more than a decade serving in his position, dedicated to the success of this community through advocating for private sector job growth, tough fiscal management, and local innovation. Please welcome 2nd District Supervisor Zack Scrivner as he shares how his leadership as chairman will continue to move Kern County forward.
Welcome to the 2022 State of the County. My name is Zack Scrivner, and I'm Kern County's 2nd District Supervisor and this year's Chairman of the Board. I was first elected to represent District 2 in 2010, and it's an honor and a privilege to serve the communities of Bakersfield, Boron, Caliente, California City, Fraser Mountain, Maricopa, Mojave, North Edwards, Rosamond, Taft, and Tehachapi. This year, as your chairman, I am honored to lead this county forward as we push back on state regulations and secure the resources necessary to our region's success. I want you to know that Kern County is an organization grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation. We are a driving force in California's economy, the 5th largest in the world. We're proud to feed and fuel communities, providing essential services to the people in our state, nation, and beyond. Kern County is a hub for aerospace and defense, agriculture, energy, oil, mining, and logistics. Our region ranks 3rd in the nation for most diversified economy and 5th in the nation for millennial attraction as our tech scene continues to flourish. Kern County's mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way people feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. I hope our 2022 State of the County shows you, our residents, that we have the right people in place to continue to move Kern County forward. Our strategic business plan for the next 5 years sets high-level goals and objectives to guide decision-making across all county functions to support measurable outcomes for our organization. We are guided by the pillars of innovation, collaboration, accountability, service, financial excellence, and transparency. We are working to be a model of excellence in managing our business and workforce, prioritizing enhancing quality of life for all county residents by developing and growing a thriving and resilient regional economy. Right now, we are at a crossroads as Kern County continues to fall under attack from federal and state regulations. It is imperative we push back hard on bad policy decisions impacting our energy and agriculture industries that are critical to local employment and tax revenues. Now is not the time to give up hope, but instead, this is the moment Kern County leans in and strives to find resolution with policy leaders. This is the year Kern County must secure state and federal support of our essential industries, which in turn are vital to the success of this state and frankly, to our nation. Right now, Kern County produces 60% of California's wind and solar energy, 80% of California's oil, and 46% of California's natural gas. Our county is also in the process of becoming the National Center of Excellence for Carbon Management in technical partnership with the United States Department of Energy. It is imperative our policy leaders and society as a whole recognize there can't be one form of energy without the other. Petrochemicals and green energy work in harmony to power our world. And here in Kern County, we do it better, cleaner, and more environmentally conscious than anywhere else. 8 of the top 10 taxpayers in Kern County are energy companies. This revenue funds essential quality of life services such as public safety, road maintenance, libraries, and schools. Governor Newsom's misguided attack on our highest tax-producing industry, oil and gas, is an attack on the families and communities of Kern County, pure and simple, and on county government's ability to support the daily functions that make our region a great place to live. The average wage of someone who works in the oil and gas industry is nearly $30,000 more per year than that of Kern County's average income earner. Right now, we are fighting for this high-paying job opportunity to remain in our communities. Now, it would be one thing if people stopped using oil and gas, and people gave up products such as clothes, makeup, medicine, cooking on gas stoves, heating homes, and of course, driving cars. But the demand for these petrochemicals has not gone away, and instead has only increased within the last 2 years. The state knows the demand for oil and gas continues to rise, but they hide it under the guise of irrational policy decisions tied to arbitrary numbers to further a governor's political agenda. Under Newsom, California imports most of its oil from foreign countries in the Middle East and South America, with little to no environmental regulation and poor human rights records to meet the state's demands, while exporting much of our oil produced here in Kern County under the strictest and most environmentally conscious regulations in the world. Now, if you think this sounds hypocritical and foolish, then you're right. We need the governor and those who support his agenda to see the folly in their approach to domestic energy production. We must make them understand that their actions cannot be just about checking a box on a political agenda. Instead, they must be made to realize their actions will result in the loss of tens of thousands of jobs, hundreds of millions of dollars in local tax revenue, a reduction in quality of life, and increased economic uncertainty. The governor's anti-oil agenda has a disproportionate impact on the poorest among us, those in disadvantaged communities, the same people the Newsom administration claims to care for most. Now, I want to introduce you to 2 local leaders within Kern County's energy industry, Mayor Dave Knorr of the City of Taft and the President and CEO of Air Energy, Eric Barch. They join us now to provide a deeper look at the future of Kern County's energy industry, a critical component of our economy and workforce.
There's not a single aspect of your life, if you were born in the United States of America, that does not have the fingerprint of oil and gas on it from the day you were born until the day you pass on.
The oil industry here in Kern County makes a big difference. And if we think about all of the products that we live with every day that come from oil and gas, it's really astounding. The glasses I'm looking at you through, or the devices that people are using to watch us right now, my toothbrush I used this morning, fertilizer that's used in the field. There are so many products that come from oil and gas every day that make a big difference in people's lives. And right here in Kern County, the industry makes a big difference as well. You know, our people live and work in the communities where we operate, right? And what we see is that we are making a big difference. Industry makes a big difference in those communities. The jobs that we create on average are $80,000 a year in industry. If you compare that to the average in Kern County, that's $50,000 a year. So that extra income makes a big deal in our communities to amplify the effects of our industry.
The state of California became the largest oil and gas producing state in the United States way back in 1904. And we have been producing oil and gas for national security, quality of life ever since then. We've done it through 2 world wars, 22 presidents, and 20 governors. And we're still doing it today.
Well, I think one of the common myths that I hear about is people saying that, well, gosh, I've got to choose between oil and gas that I'm using today and renewables that we hear so much about. And I think the reality is that we're going to need liquid hydrocarbons in the state for years and decades to come.
If one thinks, well, we want to get rid of oil and gas, we simply cannot, because even in other countries they're finding out in order to finance the transition, if you will, or the integration of new energy sources, that takes money. Something has to make money. And in the interim, you've got to provide for quality of life, the things that we've all gotten used to, which is consistent, abundant, available energy. We do that right here in Kern County. That need will not go away, and it won't go away for many decades to come. We will have to continue utilizing oil and gas and petrochemicals for the foreseeable future. We have not come up with an alternative. And that is part of, unfortunately, the narrative that has to be displaced.
So it's a question of how do these things coexist? And how do we work together to make a difference in the state? Look, I think it's an exciting time to be working in the oil industry. We're going to be innovating. We're going to be working with the state to deliver both the needs of the state and the climate goals that are out there for all of us to go after.
When we talk about this transition, just transition is a phrase people like to throw out. The just transition or the just integration has been taking place from the day we became carbon-based, which was the day caveman originally began to use and control fire. Every single day, we want to be able to do it better and get more from every barrel of oil for the betterment of mankind.
What's important to us is that through that process of transformation, we don't leave behind the people that are going to need the hydrocarbons that we produce today. If we think about the projections, how much we use oil and gas in the state, we see the need for liquid hydrocarbons for years and decades to come, even as we invite in other forms of energy, like hydrogen, like electricity for our cars and vehicles. Oil and gas will continue to play an important role in that mix. If we think about the impact there is on taxes, for example, the industry contributes about $900 million of tax revenue into Kern County every year. Think about that, $900 million. Now just imagine for a moment, without oil and gas, we wouldn't have all of these products, but also we wouldn't have that tax revenue. Imagine if that was gone in a snap, what that would mean. It would mean $100 million less for our schools. It would mean $50 million less for things like firefighters. These are necessities for all of us. And that's why it's so important that we have a constructive dialogue in the state about the future of oil and gas, the role that it can continue to play.
The biggest importer of oil into the state of California right now is actually Ecuador. It's not Saudi Arabia anymore, it's Ecuador. Well, in Ecuador, in order to produce oil, they're destroying the Amazon rainforest at an alarming rate. Matter of fact, that portion of the Amazon basin used to be a carbon sink. It used to naturally suck in more carbon out of the atmosphere and store it in the form of foliage than it emitted. Now it is a net emitter of carbon dioxide. And the reason being is because they don't care about the environment there the way we do here. So the reality, because we're buying 60% of the oil they produce, Californians waving the Go Green banner are financing the destruction of the Amazon rainforests.
Part of the challenge I hear out there is very loud voices saying that we should stop production in the state. And I think that's a dangerous idea, because so long as the state is demanding these liquid hydrocarbons and society needs it, our question is, where's it going to come from? And what we have going for us here in Kern County are very strict environmental rules and regulations that are some of the strictest in the world. And so the choice before California is to say, where do we want that hydrocarbon to come from? Our view is that so long as California demands liquid hydrocarbons, California should be the ones delivering it. The alternative, of course, is to import more hydrocarbons from overseas. I was surprised and shocked by a report I saw the other day, which suggested that 1 out of 7 gallons that we put in our tanks today in California come from producers that are producing and destroying the Amazon rainforest. I'm not sure many Californians realize that. So I think we have a crown jewel here in California in terms of our oil and gas production. We need to protect it, even as we mature other sources of energy needs, other fuels. This is an and conversation.
Every single day, we look at how we do it to come up with a better way, a more efficient way, a safer way, a more environmentally friendly way to actually enhance things so that we can be net neutral or actually capture carbon. We as an industry integrate intermittent energy sources like solar and wind when it makes sense.
Now, we aren't standing still in Aera. Of course, we are innovating. And our goal is to be a partner and a player in meeting the state's needs today and climate goals. Now, one of the things that we're excited about and we're working on is called carbon capture and storage. This is where carbon that would otherwise go to the air is captured and pumped safely deep underground. And this draws on many of the technologies and expertise that are resident in Aera and here in Kern County overall. We think this could make a big difference in the county. But these are long, multi-year projects, hundreds of millions of dollars. And so we're really right now in the feasibility stage of this. And what we need is continued partnership from both the County of Kern and the state to move these ideas forward.
Kern is one of 58 counties in the state of California. We have about 2.5% of the state's population out of the state of California. Yet we produce 70+% of all the oil and gas right here in Kern County. If anybody understands the ability and the right way to integrate emerging sources, it's Kern County. We do it better and larger than all the other counties put together.
Well, Aera is uniquely positioned to play a significant role in the county of Kern. We have about 3,000 employees that work for Aera, and we deliver 25% of the oil and gas that's produced here in the state. And that means safe, reliable, affordable energy for everybody in the state and the communities where we work and live.
We have the blinders off, and we are taking a look at every single opportunity because energy safety is a critical component of life, as it will be forever.
Kern County is also the second top agricultural producing county in the nation. 1 out of every 5 jobs locally is directly related to agriculture. Our farmers are continually innovating to produce more food with less resources, specifically due to continued state restrictions on water. Kern County feeds the world and is a leader in farming and ranching best practices. In order for our region to continue to produce the quality and quantity of the commodities the world demands, it's crucial we receive the necessary resources and backing from the state to do so. Please welcome 2 leaders from our local agriculture industry, President of Grimway Farms, Jeff Huckabee, and past President of the Kern County Farm Bureau, John Moore. They join us now with a look at the leadership, innovation, and production happening right here in Kern County that makes an impact not just on our community, but truly moves the world forward.
As long as sun is shining in Kern County, agriculture is going to have a place here. And again, what we do is specific and special to the rest of the world.
We feed the nation, and we can't take that for granted, and we can't forget that. Water is tough in California, and we're doing our best to manage it here. But on top of that, farmers and water resource managers around Kern County have come together and created one of the best water banking systems around. Here, just on the west side of Kern County, we have a great water banking program that is probably the premier model for the rest of the United States and even the world.
Farmers in Kern County are able to do more with less, do more in terms of yields with less molecules of water than we are anywhere else in the state and really anywhere else in the world. By producing the products that we do here, healthy products, not only are we feeding the world, but we're sustaining communities. We are recognizing that food and fiber, whether it's plant-based proteins, are becoming more and more important. Kern County is a leader in plant-based proteins and then animal-based proteins as well. We grow over 300 commodities in this area. Obviously, table grapes, almonds, pistachios, carrots. We have the largest carrot producers in the world based in this county, really based in this little water district that we're in right now.
But it's not just carrots. When you look at the almonds, you look at the grapes, you look at potatoes, you look at all the different variety of agriculture here in Kern County, and you look at the seasons that we have. We've got beautiful weather. No, I just think that everyone in Kern County, I think we're blessed and we're fortunate to live in an area that produces so many diverse crops. It's a very sustainable area for agriculture, from growing crops for the dairies and taking the compost from the dairies and putting it back on the ground. It's almost a full cycle. And when you look at the industry working together, we can continue to provide for the future of the United States and having a secure, high-quality food source.
It's critically important because it is a resource business. In Kern County, we export more than we import, which makes us an export economy, which means that we're very strong, especially in times of recession. You look at this county and the upward mobility that agriculture has provided. It provides communities an opportunity to rise up.
Agricultural stretches from having to dig ditches to high-tech laser technology that actually goes in and will look at every weed that's in a field, that identifies it through a camera, and there's artificial intelligence that identifies that weed, and it might have a laser that zaps that weed.
A lot of the innovations in automation that you're seeing in agriculture are happening right here in Kern County. That would have to deal with autonomous spray rigs. You've got tensiometers that tell you exactly when to irrigate, what times to irrigate, what's the best temperatures to irrigate.
You have color sorters that look at different produce and decide whether it has an off color to it, and it rejects that. So the innovation and the technology in agriculture has come a long ways.
You know, a lot of people in different agricultural economies around the world look to Kern County for their guidance, whether it's through the UC system or now at Cal State Bakersfield or BC. There is reason to be optimistic because of what we can do here and the food that we can produce. There's something special about the tradition that we have here and then the businesses that we have here. I think a lot of very honest people reside and work, whether it's in agriculture or oil or the service businesses around the county. If you're from Bakersfield or Kern County, you can recognize that it is a special place. But it's really the people that make this place special.
Most of the largest private employers here in Kern County are agricultural based. We at Grimway Farms have over 8,000 employees, and we're just one of a number of agricultural companies here in Kern County that employ just a large number of people.
Agriculture is the #2 employer in the county behind government. So 1 out of every 5 jobs in Kern County is directly tied to agriculture. That is not including the service industry or service businesses that help agriculture.
We need everyone to back farming, and everything that the farmers are doing out here is to produce a healthy, high-quality, nutritious product, and without the production that you have in Kern County, the entire country suffers. This is an ideal place to be farming. It's one of the best places in the entire United States. We need to remember that. We forget when you drive by these fields every day the impact that they can have for the entire nation. We do feed the entire U.S., we feed the world.
We're trying to stay in front of a lot of the regulation being in the state of California, but that can be a challenge as well. Agriculture, oil production, energy production, it's changing fast. I think that as a community, we just need to recognize the value in each of our industries and communicate that to those up north, because they don't really get it. And you know, it's something that we need to remind them the importance of Kern County, because we're the backbone of the state.
The eastern Kern County portion of my district is home to some of the most innovative and specialized technologies in the world. Kern County's aerospace programs stand at the forefront of an industry gaining international recognition for space tourism and the first ever privately funded spaceflight, as well as our defense and advanced weapons development supported by 2 military installations. Right now, there are over 20,000 aerospace jobs in Kern County. These high-wage, full-time jobs have staying power thanks to vast open land, smart limits on development encroachment, proximity to Los Angeles, and higher education levels per capita than in most other regions in the country. The annual economic impact of Kern County's aerospace industry on our local economy is gargantuan, with Edwards Air Force Base producing $2.27 billion annually, and Naval Air Weapons Station China Lake producing $1.2 billion annually. We are joined now by the commander of Edwards Air Force Base, Brigadier General Matthew Heiger, and NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center Director, David McBride. These two leaders within Kern County's aerospace industry are here to provide insight on a sphere of our workforce whose influence is vital to the defense of our country and whose innovation is felt around the world.
The organization here has been known to break barriers, and that's literally true, and it continues to be true today, and it was true in the sky above us in 1947 when the sound barrier was broken for the first time. If you name an aerospace advance in the last century, it probably had its roots here and may have actually been tested here. And even today, within a couple hours drive of where we're standing right now, name something that's happening in aerospace, space specifically, aero specifically, and it's happening.
NASA's Armstrong Flight Research Center is unique amongst the NASA centers in that we're the focal point for all of NASA's aeronautical research and most of its flight operations for science and research. The Armstrong Flight Research Center was established right after World War II when we were advancing supersonic flights. So we were here for the very first X-1 supersonic flights. We were here for the X-15 hypersonic flights. And now we've got the X-59 coming in, which will be the next X airplane down the line, which will demonstrate quiet supersonic flight capabilities.
The nation's first jet engine was flown off the lake bed that's very near where you and I are standing today in 1942. And all of the rocket engines that powered the early space flight were tested on Lehman Ridge, which is a couple miles off my right shoulder right now, where we're still doing all the rocket testing for commercial and military launches today for the nation. And so those are just a handful of examples of things that have direct impact that are not directly military, but that this base has supported. If you've flown on an airplane recently, a commercial airplane recently, there's a really good chance that its emergency braking system and emergency braking capability and its single engine takeoff capability were tested on the runway and the lake bed that's within 3 miles of us right now. We had what's known as a sled track, which is a rocket test track here that was doing early, how much can a human body handle accelerations and decelerations. We did it because we needed to know what people could handle in an aircraft. But one of the benefits that you literally used this morning is the seatbelt. So we decided how much deceleration could you handle and how do you distribute that on a human body via the work that was done at Edwards by one of the pioneers here at Edwards.
Good examples of where we've provided technology back to industry, or the aircraft industry, is with digital flight control systems. We were the first to fly digital fly-by-wire. Now, almost every airplane in the world that comes out is a flown digital flight-controlled airplane. Engines, we've improved engines, new components in the engines. We've improved airfoils through making aircraft more efficient flying through the air. So there's not a single airplane in the world today, modern airplane, that does not have NASA technology, and almost all of it was flight researched and flight tested here at Armstrong.
So one thing that I think a lot of people don't really have an appreciation for is the value, and I mean that in a dollar term, the value that this installation brings to the community. Military payroll alone is about $150 million a year. just for the folks that are stationed at Edwards. When you add in the government civilian payroll on top of that, it's about $750 million a year. The value of the contracts that are being executed at Edwards are about $1.3 billion. And so that's a significant immediate economic impact, but it's the future value of those that are significant to the community.
The Armstrong Flight Research Center has an annual budget of about $350 million a year. We have about 1,000 employees who live in the local community and bring good jobs to the community. That $350 million a year doesn't just evaporate. It goes into paychecks, salaries, subcontractors, support, food, logistics, health, medical, everything it takes to keep 1,200 people active in supporting our flight research mission.
A big part of this valley and a big part of what makes Edwards very special and makes us perform well are the people. And so the people that work here that also live in Kern County and Cal City, Tehachapi, Mojave are really the beating heart and the culture of what makes Edwards Edwards. Edwards has the most robust and the most genuine civilian military support group I've ever seen. We have a competitive advantage in America. And one of the competitive advantages we have is a place like this, a place where people can do what they enjoy, do what they like, contribute in a competitive way to the value that our nation brings to the world. And we don't have mass against our primary competitor nation, but we do have some things that they'll never have. We have freedom of choice, we have freedom of speech. One of the missions that Edwards has today is we make ready airmen to deploy today, to employ, or fight tonight. And they are literally in harm's way right now. One of our primary missions is taking care of their families while they're gone. The county does an awesome job, and the community partners we have here do a great job taking care of our airmen's families while they're deployed downrange. 3 other mission sets that we're fighting in, this will be broadcast most likely on something that resembles cyber or a network. And we're fighting in cyber. Our adversaries are picking at us and poking at us, and not just us, the military, but us, a nation. A third combat front, we're fighting against a virus. And I'm really proud to have been a part of the base and the place that was, for the first year plus of the pandemic, what I called a green dot in a sea of red. The folks that worked here and lived here did an exceptional job of doing counter-COVID measures, keeping our incident rate low and our fatality rate extremely low. The fourth one is the banner mission, the test mission. It's the modernization fight. And we are not fighting literally in the modernization fight today. However, we are fighting today, doing our combat mission today in garrison, so that future generations of airmen, lieutenants, airmen, and civilians can take the fight to our enemy in 2030, 2035, and beyond. And so that's what usually gets the majority of the press and the majority of the highlights, but it is only just one of the 4 major emphasis items that we have.
Yeah, what's unique about the Armstrong Flight Research Center is that it's our ability to integrate very complex, one-of-a-kind aircraft. We take ideas and modify aircraft, validate aircraft design and composition, and provide data so that that data can go to industry to help improve the next generation of aircraft.
From a mission perspective, the next year is going to see significant advances in all the major weapon systems that we have. We'll continue to shoot the nation's hypersonic weapons out of here, well, on airplanes that take off out of here, and we'll take them over to the Pacific. Major advances in F-35. We'll continue to expand the KC-46 operational capability. We are literally testing as they build the B-21 at the factory, and we're prepared to test it here. We're also testing the mission systems in Florida as they are building out those mission systems for the B-21. And we have many other platforms and programs and projects like that, like the T-7, so our nation's next trainer, that will be here and flying here in the next year. So on any one of those lanes, and dozens more that we don't have time to cover, I'm super excited about. I get a lot of reciprocal support, advice, counsel from the county leadership. I appreciate the candor, and I know they appreciate the candor right back. That type of peer-level conversation is fantastic. The other thing that's super valuable from the county specifically is the advocacy that they give on behalf of the people that are here in Sacramento.
Now that you've heard about our top industries, I want to shed light on what our county is doing to improve quality of life for our residents by investing in technology incubators, entertainment, and culture. Kern County has joined with Bitwise Industries to bring another resource for innovation to Kern County through our partnership with the City of Bakersfield and B3K Prosperity. Our new Ignite Innovation Lab, located in downtown Bakersfield, is a technology incubator that will allow members of the community the opportunity to take part in 6-month-long cohorts, primarily focused on creating new businesses and local jobs. Bitwise Industries creates a bridge between people from marginalized communities to the skills and resources necessary for them to access opportunities in the tech industry. Right now, Kern County is one of the top 5 metros in the nation for startups, and it's important we provide support to our budding entrepreneurs and continue to foster this aspect of our community, which continues to skyrocket. Other investments include signing a 5-year contract with Lightning in a Bottle Music Festival, which will be held on the banks of Buena Vista Lake. This major event will continue to draw crowds from around the state, as well as provide our residents with local state-of-the-art entertainment. This year, we also plan to see shovels in the ground for the construction of the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tejon. This project will provide jobs to thousands of Kern County residents, and of course, continue to support our booming tourism industry. Other investments we're proud of that elevate the quality of life in Kern County include the millions of dollars poured into the renovations of our local parks. Recently, we were awarded $6.5 million in Proposition 68 funding to completely transform Lamont Park, an endeavor that will greatly elevate one of the most underserved areas of our community. While we have many achievements such as this that we're proud to celebrate tonight, Kern County's road ahead is not without challenges. Currently, our board is working to find solutions as we deal with the problems of homelessness, mental health, and addiction. Our priority is to reduce homelessness and mitigate its impacts on public safety and quality of life in our community. Our Board of Supervisors has recently passed an ordinance that specifies the times and locations where it shall be unlawful to camp or place personal items in public areas. We've also began construction on a safe camping space at the M Street Navigation Center for residents experiencing homelessness who are not ready to enter a shelter, but still have a space to go that's not outside the storefronts of our downtown businesses. We are also in the process of developing a multi-departmental strategic action plan, which invests $8.3 million in a variety of services to aid and support Kern County residents experiencing homelessness, including critical partnerships between law enforcement and behavioral health and recovery services. Another issue we are facing is what has become a national crisis for law enforcement agencies, where recruitment and retention of officers is at an all-time low. Public safety is our #1 priority in Kern County, as it directly impacts our quality of life. We want to make Kern County among the safest communities in the Central Valley. Over the next 5 years, we will focus on increasing and strengthening the efficacy of frontline first responder services. This will require working closely with our sheriff, district attorney, probation chief, and our fire chief to make sure they have the resources necessary to be successful. We will also deal with recruitment and retention issues in our sheriff's department, which is a nationwide problem all law enforcement agencies are facing. We will put more sheriff deputies on the streets across our county, so their presence is both seen and felt. We will also ensure our firefighters have the equipment and resources necessary to do their jobs, which will require regular annual investment. While these issues are serious, so are we about facing our challenges head on. From our robust industries to our local innovation and leadership, I am confident that together we can continue to move Kern County forward. We will be the very best place to start and grow a business in this state by developing and practicing long-term, comprehensive land use, permitting, and other public policies aligned with regional economic development strategies and industry preferences. We will strengthen and sustain a supportive environment for entrepreneurship and business ecosystem development by continuing to promote and apply our advanced Kern and workforce development incentives to attract, develop, and retain new and existing business ventures. We will strengthen and diversify our regional economy by ensuring and sustaining full implementation of B3K strategies on economic growth and inclusion. We will attract and support new business in sectors such as carbon management and renewable fuel production and innovation, aerospace, business services, and advanced manufacturing. Finally, we will continue to promote and support our position as a national energy and agricultural leader by further strengthening our county as the alternative energy leader among all other counties in the state. This also means we must double down and strengthen our position as a national leader in oil and gas production through responsible, streamlined permitting, long-term planning, and industry evolution. We must also support and advocate for the development of state policies on innovative water reuse, banking, surface storage, water capture, and conjunctive use that supports our position as one of the nation's top agricultural leaders. I am confident all this can be accomplished. It has been a pleasure to share our vision for Kern County with you tonight. If you take one thing away from this year's State of the County, let it be this: there is no better place to live and work in California than right here in Kern County, and I'm proud to call it home. Thank you, and I wish you all a prosperous and blessed 2022.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Scrivner, and thank you for tuning in to this year's 2022 State of the County. For more information, please visit our website at kerncounty.com. Thank you so much again, and have a good night.
I want to tell you about the real California, a place where people find something better, a place with boundless opportunity, but grounded in the promise of the American dream. It's a place where people still work for a living, where sheer grit and determination are harnessed to feed and fuel a nation, where we broke the sound barrier, where we created our own sound. It's where Southern California meets the Central Valley. It's the story of honest, welcoming people who harvest California's giving ground. We may seem old-fashioned, but in reality, we've always been pioneers. We're building a better future, not only for our families, but for everyone in California. Our corner of California is thriving because we respect our history while embracing diversity. We're many communities with a unified view that your potential to create something better is truly boundless.
The 20-mule team is a decades-old California icon with as much pioneering spirit today as it had in the late 1800s. Located in eastern Kern County, today's mine operation may look different, but our commitment to safety, quality, and people is still intact. From the moment you pass through the gate, it's safety first. Training, safety protocols, and peer review are essential tools to keep staff safe. We pride ourselves in delivering a quality product. Stringent testing and attention to detail are at the core of our brand. And last but not least are the people making it all happen. Their work is meaningful and satisfying. Their pride is apparent. But don't take our word for it. Listen to theirs.
I love working at RTBL.
It's a great company to work for.
I love to be surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by.
Some of the best in the industry that I've been with. It's like a second family out here.
I have a lot of pride vested in this place, and I would say that that brand behind me, it really means a lot to us working here.